fears of tripping on pop.
Be there! Scour the spaceways! Explore vast alien worlds!
This tin right here contains the whole rigmarole.
I used to smoke about an ounce of hash every day.
Good.
And it made me go a little bonkers.
Maybe if I occupy his mind with more duties, I can control his space.
Hi.
Big fat doobies.
Hi.
Hi! Hello and welcome to the Hotbox. Today's Friday, September 18, 2020, episode 213. Put 'em up in the 213. My name's Matt. That's Gran. What's up, Gran?
What's up, buddy? Oof, starting the show a little coffee right now. Just took a dab and it's hitting pretty good.
Doing the show a day early. Won't be around tomorrow, so we're going to get it recorded today. Got a special guest joining us also, Muffins from the other chat that we just brought into the fold, 420 Gaming. Hell yeah, what's up, Muffins?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Good, man.
Not bad.
First off, what are these muffins that you're baking? And where? That's like a great name.
Where can we buy them?
Where can we buy
Dude,
your muffins?
listen, man. Dude, it just came to me in a dream, man. I had a box of mini muffins next to me one night, dude, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to slam this whole box. I'm going to change my name.
I'm going to change my name, change my life.
Do you know the Muffin Man? I will become the Muffin Man.
That's it, baby.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's good to have you on the server. You guys do a bunch of 420 gaming, as the name says. And we have a giveaway kind of sponsored by you. Not kind of, it actually is.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
man.
is.
Yeah, man. We're running a $30 giveaway going off on the 26th, I believe it was, that we talked about. So, yeah, giving away a $30 game gift card depending on region and, trying to get some new faces around and, so everybody can see what we're all about.
That's cool. Usually our giveaways in the past have been pretty much like glass related, so it's cool. I know Discord was like a gamer thing before everybody else's communities kind of adopted it, but there's still a ton of gamers happening here, a lot of gaming going on in the Dab server, so it's cool to have a giveaway that's kind of a nod to all those cats.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good partnership as well because we as we're focused more on the dabs thing, they have the 420 friendly, but they're like kind of streaming it, and that's their lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that's something that actually a lot of people have been asking us about lately is, can we get some streams going and stuff like that? And I think this is going to be the perfect way for us to help another community out and have an outlet for those people who want to stream.
Hell yeah. How can people enter this giveaway, Gran?
This giveaway, we have kind of a similar to the last giveaways. We have the Flaming Elmo emote, which is in the announcements. You can receive one entry for that. You'll receive one entry for every $1 you donate to either the PayPal or Muffins during his streams. You can also gain an entry for each Hotbox podcast you watch, which is this show today, and then I think there's going to be one on the day that we're doing the actual giveaway. I'm not sure if Muffins is going to do it or we're going to do it. We're going to let him decide that, and that way, if you guys want to get an extra entry too, you can go watch his stream as well. That's the next one on thing. We can actually go get more entries by going to watch Muffins and on his stream on Twitch. And you can type in ! And ticket and get a ticket each day. So you can go watch him, and each day you can get another entry into the giveaway until the 26th. You said it was right, Muffins?
26th, yep. That sounds right
26.
to me.
That's cool.
Yep,
And
I think that's right.
It's twitch.tv/Muffins, spelled with double O's, like zeros,
Yes.
not the letter, but the number.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Got to be creative, baby.
Sweet.
Gotta be different. And then you can get another one by subscribing to the Hotbox podcast channel and YouTube. And server boosters will gain double entries this time. I know last time we kind of amped it up a little bit and did times 4. We're going to go back to our times 2. But that's okay. We still love you. Don't worry. You're still getting double the entries. So, I mean, that's still a hell of a lot of more entries. We're also going to do the extra entries for Matthew here. So if you post a dab video and post it on the RDub subreddit and DM us the link, you'll gain 5 entries. And if that video has one of Matt's songs in it, you'll get another 5 entries in it.
Damn.
So there's a possible 10 entries to 20 entries if you're a server booster.
Making me blush over here.
I like to support my people, you know. And even though Matt's not one to be like, I'm a rapper, fucking listen to my shit.
I know.
I still want to be like, hey, you know what? Look, I mean, support him, you know.
Yeah,
Come on,
check it out. I like the messages. I get random messages from cats in here. They're like, "Hey, one of your songs randomly came on my Spotify when I was driving." And they'll like take a picture of it and send it to me. I always think that shit's kind of dope.
That's funny.
So, Muffins,
Okay.
when did you start streaming? Let's like let people know about you and what your guys' streams are all about.
Yeah, dude. So I started streaming probably, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago. We actually started off by doing kind of a game show style layout, more related around CS:GO at the time, because that's always kind of been our thing. But we did live game shows. We designed some things, and Unreal Engine got people involved, the community involved, and it went well for a good period of time. Just like
Right.
everything that happened with CS:GO, with them putting the restrictions on and things of that nature, it kind
I
of
still
forced
feel
us
like
out.
CS:GO is still going pretty good though.
100%, but they put trade bans here, and they started shutting people down that were doing their stuff, which yeah, I mean, it was kind of in the gray area, I guess, what we were doing as far as their user agreements, but it was fun for people, and that's really what we wanted to bring, is just something different that people don't see a ton on Twitch. So that's kind of where I began, and then obviously 420 Gaming we moved into after a little while, because the people I usually play with and myself obviously have a big passion for weed and all of the uses, all the things it's given us, and we wanted to kind of bring all these creators, all these people that kind of do their own thing, but either draw some, I guess, creativeness from weed, or it's done something for them in order to get them maybe even out of their shell, something like that. But bring all these creators and these indie developers and everybody together and be like, listen, this is a place you can go. There's not really any restrictions on it. Get your stuff, get your name out, meet new people, and obviously we'll just provide you with to support and the backdrop to be able to do so. So that's the direction we're trying to go.
That's awesome.
I feel like a lot of times too is, I mean, I feel like it's getting better as weed becomes more and more legal, but I feel like a lot of times too, like this is actually the exact type of people that have been, dare I say, oppressed. I mean, held back from being able to do the things they want to do and streaming the things that they love, like weed or gaming and weed. And it's some people like me just love to sit there and shit and fucking game out and take a dab real quick. I mean, why can't we show people what we do every Friday night? And I know there was one point in time when you couldn't do that on Twitch. But,
Yep, you're 100% right, man. And I don't think oppressed is really that far off of it. I think, a lot of people have drawn a lot of positivity, and even just for themselves, but also that they've given, due to the fact that they were able to come out of their shells and really show what they can do and not feel like it's this big stigma thing, that it really should have never been and shouldn't be now.
Right.
It's kind of an esports thing overall, like getting cats like that out into like these big tournaments and offering like real money prizes. I feel like I just watched that Netflix documentary about gaming, and one of those episodes was all about esports, and like those cats make more money than any of us here, and they're like gaming, which is awesome. But it's like, damn, never would have thought that like playing video games and shit, like you could actually turn that into somewhat of a job if you were good enough.
Dude, there's even a lot of streamers that make like really fucking good money, and like they just sit around and do exactly what we're doing right now, sit around bullshit and play games and fucking, they don't smoke, but some do. I think
a few harvests ago my brother was like, he was bored trimming his shit, so he's like, he just started streaming it, and like people would come in there and just watch him stream, and he'd like play music and shit while he was doing all the trimming, and like he started making like $100 a stream or something just from people giving him tips and everything. I was like, damn,
really, I'm gonna have
dope.
to start doing that shit.
Right?
Yeah, there people like to watch that kind of shit. It's like people that like to watch people play video games. It's like, it's just another niche that there's a huge community around. It's cool.
And it's not a bad way to go, and that's kind of how we've tried to separate ourselves a little, where it's like, we're all, I mean, if you're watching the stream, I would say 99% of the time we're high. I mean, there's no way we're not, you know what I mean? Because it just enhances everything. But we're trying to bring in this community where I want you to be basically sitting in a circle with us for the most part when you're in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what we want. and get the BS talk out of the way. Get the stuff that just pops in your head. Dude, just say it, man. Because as I've said before, I mean, there was a night we spent 45 minutes arguing about condiments, dude. So I mean, it's and it's just
It's very
that's what we
Reddit
want.
of you.
Right?
It's very Reddit of you.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
God.
So are you a game developer?
So
Can we talk
Excuse me.
about this? I just saw it in the doc, and I figured I'd just throw it out there.
Not sure if you
what
want
I
people
do.
to know about it.
No,
I wanted
absolutely.
to touch on it.
Absolutely, man. No, we the kid I usually play with, Chris is his name, Sauce is in game. Him and I have done things together since we were 13 years old. I mean, a bunch of different development stuff, just trying to test the waters on pretty much everything. So him and I decided to mess with Unreal kind of in the middle of the Trivskins thing and just try to make a game. It kind of started as a joke. We would scrap it 1,000 times, make things just to see what we can do. But there was one night where we just kind of started doing this design, and he started doing the functionality to it, and everything just kind of melded together. And it was like, oh, okay, so we could do something like this. So we actually made a game called Lockdown, which is on Steam now. We marked it to free because it is a multiplayer, and multiplayer, as I'm sure as everybody knows, is rather difficult to get off the ground without something backing it up to really get it out there. So, basically all it is you drop in with 10 of you, up to 10. And there's a key card located within the map. So the whole goal of it is to get that key card and escape the map. There's AI zombies in there. Obviously, it is multiplayer, so you have the other people that can either try to hunt you and kill you or work with you, but it's built upon a trust factor. There's no alliances, there's no party building, there's no map. So it doesn't really tell you where anything is. It's obviously your job to learn it, and every minute a key card spawns. So if somebody doesn't find one in the first minute, another one's in the map, then another. So it provides the ability for multiple people to get it and then somebody to get to the door. And the cool thing is it alerts you when somebody picks one up, but it only alerts a certain amount of people. So if you have 10 in there, 6 of them may find that somebody picked one up. The other 4 may not know, which is completely randomized. And the reason we did that was, it keeps it interesting. So you don't have 10 converging, you have 6, and then they may say somebody found it. Now it's your, I guess your, I don't want to say responsibility, but your decision if you want to trust that they actually saw somebody get it or not.
Right.
That's very like prisoner dilemma. Like that's the right thing I'm thinking.
Now,
of.
when I heard this, I actually downloaded it and I played it.
Is it first person shooter? Like what's the? Okay.
Yes, it's first person shooter kind of style, and yeah, he. I mean, obviously, he explained it perfectly. I mean, he's a fucking developer of the game, but it's actually kind of cool as shit. Like. When you explained it to me, I kind of like got a few things. Like I was like, "Oh, I thought I just got lucky and randomly found a key card and made it out. Like I thought I was just good shit."
Damn.
Yeah.
But then, like, I didn't know that the other players in there were actually real people. That's why they were acting weird and not like completely AI. Like I thought they were gonna come at you shooting when.
Yeah, it's very dark. I'm sure as you saw. I mean, the flashlights are obviously you need them, but you can toggle them on and off to try to hide and obviously move around the map. But I handled the design of the stuff. Chris handled mostly the functionality. But it was our first run at it. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, I know they have a big NDA with Steam, so there's not a ton I can go through. But it's like their systems are very complex. It's to kind of move through curators, move through all this stuff. I had no idea how to do it. I mean, I just, did the stuff, paid the fee, and, obviously did what they told me to do. But I think there's a lot more that could have been done, but there's always time. And, we were happy with the result for the first run, especially. I mean, it was successful.
Nice.
And it was just you two?
It was just us. Yep. It took us about 7 or 8 months, probably 2 to 3 hours a night for 5-6 days a week.
Damn.
It was a lot, but we learned a ton. It's just cool to see something start with a cube and build into this massive, expansive city with all these things happening in it. So it was pretty cool to watch it come to life.
Are you guys still working on it? Like, is it continually being developed, or are you guys working on something different, or what?
So we continually started, doing little updates here and there, just, things that were glitching out. People can jump through roofs. They could do certain things that we tried to critique. And then a map's being built now on it just to put out there. We've also moved into VR. Now that we know what we're doing, we've tried to move into more VR experiences type things. So that's kind of the thing we have lined up for ourselves now too.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's interesting, but it's cool. Like I said, it's just cool to see something come to life. Even if you never put it out, it's cool to walk through something you made,
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's cool that, like, even I mean, obviously it's not a AAA game or anything, but still, like you two people have a game that you put out on Steam. I mean, that's just kind of mind blowing, you know?
How dare you, Grand? How dare you? I don't know what AAA game means.
Dude, I don't even think AAA games can be considered AAA games anymore. Like, let's be real.
It's true. It's true, man. It's changing a lot.
I think
Skyrim is a great game, but it has so many fucking bugs. God damn you, Bethesda.
the last game I played was Angry Birds 2 on my phone. I did dig my PlayStation out of the garage and hooked it up. I was all excited to play. Hadn't been hooked up in like fucking almost a year probably. And then it informed me that it had like 8 hours of an update to download. So I was like, well, I guess maybe tomorrow then.
Guess I'm not playing PlayStation today.
And then it was like,
funny.
I need money so that you can play online. And then I just played a couple campaigns in fucking Battlefield. And I was like, all right, well, that's enough of that. Do you want to take the dab break now? And then we'll get into some stuff from the subreddit and some weed news.
Ah, man, you're trying to kill me, aren't you? I mean,
Are
I'm
you-
acting like a little bitch.
are you
I'm
itching
still
to dab?
coughing from that one dab before. Yeah.
You're
Can I
usually,
dab?
I'm just
Is that
saying, you're
making a question?
usually the one that like interrupts the flow of the show to be like, oh, hey, I got to take a dab. Let's fucking have a ad break. So I was just offering you preemptively. If now,
Well, I mean, we're 4 minutes early, so I mean, we might as well.
see the
Can I at
time,
least get it ready? What are you smoking on tonight?
the time's
let's
got me
talk a
all,
little bit about
all
that.
thrown off. All right.
I know the timing has
this
got me
shit
thrown
out.
off because usually it's 4:20 for me when we do this.
Is it really?
So like, yeah, because we do the show at 4 p.m. for me. So at 4:20 every single time we actually do the smoke break. It actually works out beautifully.
I had no idea. That's cool. So I got this in the mail today. Knuckles Glass. He's a glass artist. The last thing I got from him was a metal talking drum for my kiddo so that she can make a bunch of endless noise in the house and annoy her mother. But he also makes cool glass shit. And I saw this. He did a prototype of it. And I was like, holy shit, that's like such a great use of the Klein seal to make a pipe, have a jar that's not actually getting smoke in the jar because you have this solid piece.
Oh,
going
so
through
it's
the
actually
glass.
a weed jar and the pipe? That's sick.
Yeah, but
That's
it's like
pretty
sealed up. It's not like a resonating chamber. Everyone that's seen it's like, oh, cool, smoking that CBN resonated weed, and it's like, no, it's like a straight
no.
Sherlock. Like if you the
I
Sherlock goes
want it.
through and then out, and then
How much?
inside it. This one was $250. I think he does them for
Oh,
like
never mind. I don't want it.
two to three, depending on like if you want colors and fumes and all that
That's
stuff.
still like beautiful. Like that's amazing though. How much does it fit in there? Like quarter?
Yeah, you can probably fit more. I was trying not to like jam it in there because
Crush,
I didn't
right.
want to have to like rip it back out, but
Right.
comfortably it fits a quarter depending on how dense and stuff your buds are.
That's still a lot. I mean, let's be real. A quarter is a good. That's a good session.
I
Let's be real.
usually when I go to work, I have like my weed jar. It's about like this big. It holds, like a quarter. And then I grab
Right,
my
yeah.
pipe. So they're like the two things I always grab every morning. And now
Dude, that's sick.
I've just
that's
grabbed this thing.
absolutely sick.
and I'm like totally set.
Oh, I'm jealous. I want it. All right.
I got some
I am,
sunset lime from Proof Cultivar here in Oregon.
Ooh, Sunset Lime. That
Yeah,
sounds-
it's super good. Yesterday we went in and I found a strain called Mother's Milk, and I got it just because
Mm-hmm.
it reminded me of Milk Mother, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture of this and send it to her. I'm smoking her,
I actually.
and it
I
wasn't
did that same
really,
thing, like 6 months ago.
it wasn't that great. It was
Yeah.
stony, but it didn't have like that flavor that I like. So
I agree.
I saw the key lime or the sunset lime on the shelf, and I was like, "Fuck, my ounce is already filled for the day." So I went back today and got it, and super stoked I did. It's got a great terp profile on it. It's very
Yeah.
good, very good.
It sounds good.
What are you smoking?
What about
on?
you, Moopins? What are
I
you
got,
smoking?
dude. I just got a little chem dog this evening, man.
Ooh,
Little
Chem Dog's a good
this
one,
evening.
though.
Dude. I love it, man. I haven't had it in a long time, dude. But it is exactly what I remember.
Yeah, Chem Dog is a nice, good old cool strain. I am smoking on some Thin Mint right now.
Nice. We have a hoodie
But-
that says Chem Dog on it, and the pockets unzip and it folds down into like a kind of rolling tray, I guess. It's got like stash pockets in it, and you can roll your joints on this thing, and then it zips back up into the hoodie.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is pretty cool.
I can't
Well, with
remember
that
where I
being
got
said, we're going to roll into our ad here, guys. So let's take a smoke break.
episode of the Hot Box is brought to you by Gary's Glass Adventure. Go to garysglassadventure.com and check out his shop for any of your dabbing needs. Gary's Glass has quality German quartz and bangers of all sorts. They come in all sizes, 10, 14, and 18 millimeter. Also available are quality ruby pearls and rigs from a variety of artists. Again, that's garysglassadventure.com. Use promo code R/dabs710 to get 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Sweet Piece of Glass. Spog is an amazing website with lots of great pieces and a large assortment of accessories from artists like Chappelle Glass, Unlimited Glass, and Glassmith. Quartz by Jake Miser and J Red Glass. There's almost nothing you can't find from Spog. Matt always takes care of his customers, and if you're in the Discord, he'll often give you a deal. So join the Discord and check out his shop to pick out your very own functional piece of art. He can be found at sweetpieceofglass.com and in the Discord.
And we're back. Got some stuff from the Dabs subreddit. This is podcast hotboxpodcast.com, of course, streaming live through the Dabs Discord, Dabs subreddit over there on reddit.com. So definitely check it out. r/dabs, always interesting stuff getting posted in there.
And we're going to keep Moofins around to hang out with us and react.
Oh, yeah, dude, that sounds awesome.
User Wisdom Sun posted this cool shot of their setup. I like those Amazon basic silicone mats. I've probably got like 30 of them in random spots in the house, in my closet, on the mantle.
Oh, yeah?
Like any place, like some glasses, there's always one of those mats that they're sitting on.
They work well?
Yeah. I mean,
how much do they cost?
They're cheap. I couldn't give you an exact price. I've had them for so long, but
right, but they're not like.
It's just that brand. It's funny because I see that brand also in like a lot of different labs. Like everyone uses the Amazon Basics. Everyone's got that Amazon card. We need to
Have you ever taken a dab?
No, I've never dabbed.
Moofin?
Just once in my life, man.
Just once?
Just once, dude. Not saying it was bad. Just saying, that's a long story right there, boy.
That's a long story. Ooh, do we want to go down that path?
It was a rough night. I mean,
did you I
can short it for you if you'd like.
Well, let's get through these Reddit posts and then maybe we'll go down that path.
There you go.
Also, nice organizational skills with the dock and everything. Those are pretty sweet for putting your stuff on and not getting sticky shit everywhere. Cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I actually really like the kind of 3D printed setup there with the carb cap holders and dab tool holders. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. I
like that. I want something like that. Tooth is actually kind of designing something for me.
Yeah, I thought he printed one out a while ago. Whatever happened to that?
He printed a few out and sent them to a shop nearby, but he's been really busy lately though, you know. Shit happens. I requested a lot of stupid bullshit on mine. So it was kind of dumb to make, and he's listening right now, so he's probably like, yeah, you did.
And
so
you're never getting it, so...
Yep, you're never getting it, dick.
User Law and Bleezers posted a new piece, a Swiss donut perk, and they were kind of wondering how to fill it. And, like, the rule I always tell everyone is just, like, fill it up and pull as hard as you're going to. Try and cover the perk, obviously. If it's bottoming out, obviously, put some more water in it, like if the perk is going above the water line. But if you're getting water in your mouth, then you have to kind of make that decision. And it's going to be pretty individualized depending on how you dab, depending on what kind of banger you're dabbing through and what sort of air restriction it has. So a lot of different things, but I always try, like, if it's a recycler, fill up the bottom can first, start there. If it sips in your mouth, then, you know, go less. Unless you like that, then put a little more in. You know, some people like that. Everyone knows.
Sorry.
Go ahead. The terps are in the water, so.
The terps are in the water.
Leave that there.
I mean, each piece is going to hit differently as well on how much water it's actually going to be pulling and chugging, so it might be just a little bit of heavier piece to hit.
There you go. Tooth Sweet in the chat posted his rolling station he made. That's pretty sweet. Still waiting on mine. No big deal.
Yeah, that one is really cool.
Hell yeah. What's next?
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Oh, okay. No, you're
I
good.
was coughing my ass off.
Yeah, no, get it.
I'm still coughing.
Get it. I think this is probably like the best username I've seen all week. Gerbiner Box posted a little help there. Wonder, he says, as the title says, I need some help. I'm a pretty heavy smoker. I've been smoking every day for years, but for the past couple months I've been primarily dabbing. I smoke live resin and it is good quality stuff I get. My tolerance is absurdly high. I sit at home every night and just dab and I dab and I dab, and I still don't get as high as everyone else claims they do while dabbing. Long story short, I just want to get really high, and a tolerance break is not an option. Any input would help. I just want to figure this out and miss being stupid high. I would say first and foremost that like people are always going to exaggerate their state of being depending on like if you're in a dab subreddit or a dabs Discord, you're just fucking the highest you can be at all times. You know, it's like the fish that I caught was this big and then it turned into a shark. But so I wouldn't take people's at their word at how high they say they're getting, and that's
exactly
going to be different depending on how your
my
brain
comment
is.
to him is take a 5-gram dab and then talk.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be taking 5-gram dabs when you dab from now on, but you're going to get fucked up for a little bit, and then you'll move on to 10-gram dabs, and then you'll move on to 14-gram dabs, and then
No, you don't. That's not a thing.
God.
Nobody's taking 14-gram dabs. Shut up.
Not yet. Not yet. They are.
No.
Nobody's worked hard enough yet.
I mean, I've seen videos of people doing that, and it just looks like the most miserable experience ever. You're like literally in a tent with like 125 sweaty other dudes, just all up on everybody's shit, like trying to get some of that mids. Ugh, it's gross.
As somebody who's taken a 1-gram dab and didn't cough, it was probably like one of the worst experiences of my life. It was not an enjoyable experience at all. Like, not even the high after, and the high wasn't even that long after, probably because I'm a giant pothead and I have way too high of a tolerance. But like 3 hours later, I was like ready to take another dab again.
Tooth Sweet says, imagine coughing off a regular sized dab after iron lunging a gram drop.
Fuck you.
You are kind of being
Eat
a
my
bitch
balls.
today, huh? It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's not Saturday. It's okay.
It's the smoke in the air.
The other thing I would say is try and switch up your strains. Obviously, the more broad of a spectrum of minor and major cannabinoids, as well as like terpenes that you can get, and have that difference there be like great between the two. Like if you can have two strains, one on the opposite side of each other on the spectrum, like you can manage that tolerance a little better. But eventually you get to the point where you need to probably stop smoking and then go edibles and let that kind of carry you through your tolerance break. And then I feel like after a couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks of edibles, you can go back to taking dabs again and probably get pretty blazed.
I would say just take like 8-hour dab breaks.
I would say just dab for 8 hours straight. I mean,
that works too, you know? I mean, you can just continually just feed yourself in. Like, don't give up on yourself, you know? Go at it.
Go big.
Reach for the
or
stars,
go
baby.
home.
Reach for the stars. I believe in you. Oh, God. I'm a terrible influence. Why did we allow me on the show?
Because you find things like this to post that makes everything all better. This
That
from
makes everything better.
user Hot Banger gave my boy his first dab with no water in the rig. He thought he was grown and took a shot shortly after this. He puked, but was on cloud 10. That's pretty sweet.
Dude, this man is just savage. Like,
Damn.
It's so bad. Look at this shit. And it's not even a low temp dab. It's straight up hot, like, first guys figuring out how to fucking dab. Probably how Muffins took his dab. Like, fucking
Is
just
this Muffins? Is this why you don't dab? Because you puked?
It's not, but
Okay.
because I see it here. Yeah, it's probably what it looked like. Dude,
Yep.
I have no idea, man.
That is not how you should dab. I can tell you that right now.
No.
He didn't even use a carb cap. I bet you they didn't even own a carb cap.
I like the technique of like stabbing the banger with the dabber, like it's like you're trying to just kill it. That dude was like, I could feel it grinding in my bones. Oof.
That isn't a pretty aggressive attack. Just fucking.
Yeah. Well, and like a shot, I don't know. Alcohol is probably not like the best thing to be combining with dabs if you don't have a very high tolerance, because the dabs might make you a little spinny, and then the alcohols definitely make you spinny, and then you're just gonna purge everywhere.
Then you get really, really, really spinny, and then you purge. Yep.
And yes, that too, sweet ass, if that's how you use a knot, and that is exactly how you use a knot.
That's exactly how you use it.
Stab it like it's trying to get away.
I love you, Matt.
Hell yeah.
You're amazing.
I should mention, I just got an email, hot off the presses here, from the Amazon Music Podcast homepage that is telling us that our podcast is now on Amazon. So,
Ooh,
just
yay.
one more way to find the show: Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, of course, Apple and Google.
Yep. Yay, and YouTube. Don't forget the YouTube, Matthew.
And YouTube. That's right. User Stoke Tourist posted, "What are you guys' opinions on this? Seems a bit fake to me." And of course, with all like pictures of dabs, like you could put 100 things that aren't dabs up there, and like people, I mean, how do you tell the difference from a
Right.
picture?
So the only reason I put this up there is one, because this guy's actually from my neck of the woods, from Michigan, but the dabs look decent. I mean, it doesn't look like he's dabbing a piece of poop. I mean, from the picture, it looks fine. It just looks like
it's thick. Like you can see the layers like folded up. Like it was folded up pretty good in that
Right.
bag. But
right. Which I mean, that's fine. That means it's somebody who folded it up. It probably was slabbed out and somebody folded it up. But if it was dark at all, you would see it, especially folded up like that.
I like the top comment there about this cat got some pine resin from a dispensary yesterday, and he found a A1 test for it. You take a metal spoon, you put it in the wax, heat it like it's heroin. When the wax is liquid, dip your finger in it. It's going to be hot. Just get through that pain. If the wax solidifies like candle wax on your finger, you got boofed. Real wax will turn brown, will be very sticky, and will smell right with this. Fake wax will keep its color, smell really off, and will harden like a candle.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
Do you have a
Where
candle?
is it?
Are you doing the test? Live?
Wait, no, wait, hold on. The opinions expressed in this Discord are those of the public individuals and do not represent the opinions or views of the Discord owner or its members. Statements in this Discord and the presentation of the material
I'm
and
gonna
within
just
do
put
not
that
imply
in the
any
intro.
expression of the,
I'll just replace the
we need to
intro.
put that in the intro, just of every podcast from now on.
I like Dabs has a good point. He says, "Why you got to use your finger? Because you
That's
gotta
a fair
feel the consistency and the texture of the dab."
But there's more nerve endings in the other finger.
Well, it depends which finger you use. Some people have like restaurant hands and they're just all burned to shit, so you don't really feel any pain. Some people
I want to
have
know who's cooking with their wiener because that's not healthy.
delicate typing fingers, like me.
Oh yeah, we were talking about real fingers. Because Deja Vu was talking about wieners, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you can use your wiener too if you want. Use whatever you want. Just be careful if you get the fake dabs. I always just tell people just have like a banger that you just have like a cheap fucking banger that's just dedicated to this. If you live in a place where like you're always getting questionable dabs, like you might want to invest in a $10 fucking banger. Then just heat that shit up. Don't gotta be all cracky and fucking junky like with a fucking spoon. And
we don't have to heat it like heroin?
I mean, you can, I guess. You don't have to though. Just hit it like a regular dab. But then don't hit it. Just like see how it melts, and then just stick your finger in the banger.
Don't stick your finger in the back. Oh my god! Can we read the?
How many spoons you ruin before your girl or your guy at home is like? We have to talk about your problem. This is getting out of control.
You would need a dedicated spoon, that is for sure, because that spoon is not coming back. That's 100%. So this next one, this guy, user Robbins0172, posted a picture of his latest pickup, which was some Blue Cookies flour, a half gram of motor breath, and a gram of birthday cake. That flour looks amazing, and I want us all to look at that because we all need to remember that good dabs comes from good flour.
That's true.
But
I mean, you can make decent or mediocre dabs with like awful flour, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
I
if
think
you
in the show
want,
notes I put ... usually.
yeah, if you want that like top shelf shit, that real shit, then yeah, you're gonna need good weed to start with.
Yep. Good in, good out.
That's
So a few other users got first heady rig. Daddy Longlegs, 31, got his first heady rig with some Frosty Nug by Chaka and Nesser.
Dabby
that's how you
long
pronounce
legs. That's pretty sweet.
Dabby
Name.
Longlegs.
I like that.
But that rig's really nice. I like the coloration in it.
Oh wow, yeah, frosty. The
It's even got some, like, snowflakes and
tech.
shit in
Yeah,
it.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it does look sick.
God damn. Man.
Still coughing off that
Shh.
point.
It's 2 dabs now, so
2?
shut up.
Point
I hate
point
you
1,
all.
point
It's
2.
the smoke coming from California and all the bullshit burning in the air.
Yeah, that is probably true. That shit was awful.
Oh, I can
And
only
then,
imagine. Dude.
you know, just not to derail too much, but it got me thinking. I watched that social whatever documentary on Netflix, and like this whole like smoke fire thing made me kind of think about like if it was something that was planned and used as like a marketing thing to sell like HEPA filters, because I bought one and I know I'm not the only one. And like it just after that documentary came out, it made me like think about how all of that shit is like perfectly planned and all of this information is harvested to like sell you stuff. And I was like, fuck, they got me. They got me on the fucking on the HEPA. Sons of
oddly
bitches.
blaming it on some gender reveal party.
The fires? I mean, that was the cause of one of them. You can't have fireworks out in the woods when it's dry. I don't care what you're revealing.
I don't
Like,
care what you're
That's just like common sense. Have you ever lived on a planet that had like an atmosphere and trees and shit, and like sometimes it gets dry? Some
Do you
people.
realize the questions that come out of your mouth sometimes?
I know. It's just like, go back to Mars.
Go back to Mars!
Clearly, that's what happened. After examining all of this
Trust me, we all
climate
wish we
change
could
shit
Mars,
that's
dude.
happening and reading the books from the people that were up in the Antarctic and like doing this science for the last like 40 years and watching it deteriorate. Like we or some beings like us fuck that planet up in the same way, and like further in the future, I bet Earth is going to look just like Mars. I'm just saying. I'm calling it right now. Set that.
I would like to point out that at the start of this, right, you went not to derail too much, and now we're talking about
I'm
how
just
humans
saying.
have fucked up Mars, and we have lived.
Set a
on Earth
reminder.
now, and
Set a reminder
Set
for
a
500
reminder.
years, okay? And when you guys are all having to wear masks to just like
Look
go
around you.
outside, but like
somebody write that shit down.
full spacesuit masks, you're gonna think back to this episode. You'll be like, that son of a bitch was right.
That son of a bitch was right.
It's out of control.
This is history. History.
Pretty much.
So the last post from Reddit that I want to point out is user MMCCA513. He does a terp slurper, right? And I love this matching set of the terp pearl and the kind of marble cap.
That's algae, isn't it? That's dope.
It's either algae or it looks like a brain almost. It just looks
No,
really cool.
algae is the cat that does all the brain stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see. I don't know if that's the artist or not, but
Drop a
that man uses
comment.
the
Drop a
terp slurper
comment
a
and
lot.
be like, that algae is dope, and see if he says thank you. Or if he says
you
it's
spell it?
not algae. We'll see.
How do you spell it?
ALGAE.
ALGAE.
Yep. Algae. He's really the only one I see doing brain stuff like that. But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
it's just
It is really cool, and that man uses a terp slurper, right? That hit looks amazing.
I also
gotta say.
appreciate the comment in there that was just hating on his brown ass oil. There's always one, at least.
Oh my god.
Every-
I half expected that to be Sapphire Dabs.
Was it? I didn't even look at the username.
I said
oh.
I half expected it to be. It's Big Doggy.
Okay.
That was hilarious, though.
That's awesome.
You got all happy.
I
Okay.
like. I mean, sure, it makes sense. I wasn't gonna second guess it.
So since we have the news and search and seizures left over, which I mean, not to hate on them too much, but I'm not too sad if we don't get to. But I kind of want to hear Mufin's first dab story.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to hear it?
If he wants to throw it out there on the internet forever, sure.
Oh, dude, I got a lot of things, but shame ain't one of them, buddy.
You'll fit in here nicely.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
All right, so it was the first time I ever done it. Obviously, we're going over to my buddy's house to smoke. I kind of knew the kid, but whatever. So he pulled out a rig or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, you want to try it this way?" And I'm like, whatever. I didn't care at that point. You know what I mean? I didn't have anything to really live for, so it's like, whatever happens, happens. You know, it's all good.
And you were just flower only, or you weren't smoking anything back then?
No, I mean, I was just smoking flower at that
Okay.
point in my life, but he wanted me to give it a try, so whatever. So I took a shot. Dude, I don't really remember leaving his house after I did that, but I know I left his house because I needed to drive home, and I was with a friend of mine who was a little bit better at it than I was at that point in time. We'll go with. So, dude, I swear to God, I couldn't look straight at the road. Okay, I had to look at the lines in the road to try to because the yellow lines or whatever in the middle there. So whatever direction they turned, dude, is the direction I turned. Like I was not looking straight at really any point during the ride home.
Dang.
Every bridge, dude, because I was on back roads, every bridge, dude, was too low. I had to duck. I swear to God, dude, I had to duck under every single one. Dude, I had to. And like, I looked at, you think something's going to hit you in the head, but you're like, maybe not. So you kind of look at it and it's like, dude, it was right there. And all the while, this kid, dude, it was right there. And all the while, this kid is sitting in my passenger seat, dude, just going, bah, just scaring me while I'm driving.
Damn.
Like, dude. And then eventually we got onto like the town I live in now, and there's like a big, kind of it merges, and there's a bunch of lights everywhere and stuff, dude. I swear to God, dude, I was at the airport. There's no way I wasn't at the airport. I was on a live runway. I had no idea what I was doing, but this is a live runway, and I need to get out of here. So I just ripped a U-turn on a one-way, just went straight back down. Still don't know how I got home, but I remember getting home and then finding Chinese food in my fridge, and then that was the end of my night.
You found Chinese food in your fridge, and all was good. And oh
Dude,
my
it was
God.
tough, man. And since that point, it was just like I just remember following the line home, being like, "Dude, that's probably not a good thing to do." So I'd rather look at the road and the cars in front of me, not just trust like this yellow line. I remember saying in my head, "This yellow line's gonna guide me home, dude.
Don't
guide me to my house."
Don't do drugs and drive, kids. Don't
No,
drug and
never.
drive. But speaking of
never.
doing drugs and driving, I remember one time I was on a bunch of mushrooms and I was like chilling at my house by myself, and my friend hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you should come to my house and we'll trip there." And I was like, "Cool." Just like normal.
fucking high
Gonna go out.
ass.
I got in my car and I started driving, and like I had to take a highway to get into town, and then once you get into town, you go to where his house is. And like as soon as I got off the highway, my brain just like farted, and like I felt like I was lost, and I couldn't remember where his house was. And like the more I kept going, the more I got like nervous and freaking out because nothing looked familiar. Like I wasn't seeing like crazy like hallucinations. I was just lost. I don't know how else to explain it. And so I was on this one way, and I knew if I just turn around and go back down the other one way, I can get back to my house at least, because that's the way I came. So I fucking flipped a U, went down the other one way, made it all the way to my house. I called him up, like freaking out, and I was like, "I can't do it. I don't know what happened, but I got lost." And he's like, "It's cool. Just stay there. I'll be there. I'll be there shortly." And like, I just ended up sitting there like drawing or doodling or something. And he came over finally. And yeah, I was pretty, he was like, when I opened the door, my eyes were just like, oh, just, yeah. It's good times.
I don't know what happened, man. I got lost.
I've never felt like that in my life, like driving. Like I always have a good sense of like where I'm at, especially in the town I've lived in for so long. But yeah, it was weird. Like it just blanked my fucking brain.
Balls,
Just
it'll
blanked
do
me. I thought this Dear Abby was interesting in the Chicago Sun-Times. Says, "Dear Abby, after smoking marijuana for 20 years, I quit 2 days ago. My head is starting to clear now, and things are coming into focus I miss so much, and I feel terrible about it. How many times did I say no to my kids because I was lazy? How many times have I yelled at them for just asking a question? Get away, mommy's high and playing Bejeweled. Fuck off."
Oh my god.
My 6-year-old would have this frightened look because he wanted something, and I yelled because he interrupted me from doing nothing.
Goddamn right.
I was at my in-laws on Father's Day and started yelling at my husband for getting mad at me because I told his father, heck, you're not my dad, so what do I care? Damn. Bold showing. The neighbors heard me, I'm sure. My father-in-law didn't even come out of his bedroom, and I'm sure my husband won't forget it. Probably not. Although I'm not the nicest to him at times, he loves me. I can be downright disrespectful, and my kids see this. It's the reason I quit smoking. Almost daily, I hear my 13-year-old say, "Stop yelling, Mom," or "Why are you yelling, Mom?" I have so many regrets. Can I make up for them? What can I do so my kids will remember good times and not just me yelling? Not sure where or how to start erasing the bad. Any advice would be appreciated. I think you're just, I don't think that's the weed. I mean, are you still yelling? I bet you're yelling more, aren't you? You're yelling harder. Yeah.
You sound like a stupid stuck up.
I think you need to just sit down with your kids and pass that Duce to the left hand side. But don't make a video of it, because that's how people get in trouble.
You know what I also heard, and we can send them a message and talk to them and see if they want to sponsor this episode, because maybe we can get that
CPS?
No. If you get some Vagisil and get the sand out of your vagina, it'll also help a lot. Okay, I'm getting my house burnt down tonight.
I'll look into that.
This was a terrible idea to drink and do this story.
But yeah, I could see that happening more, like if you're in the middle of quitting weed and stuff. But I think you were just probably just not a great person to begin with. If that's like, weed doesn't, I don't know. I'm more inclined to like get stoned and then be more interactive with the child rather than like just be like, go away, you know?
Right. I mean, like I guess it's all for what you use it for. Like for myself, like there are times like when, I mean, obviously for some anxiety and stuff like that. For myself, I personally use it for PTSD. But there are times like when I'll literally like feel like sick to my stomach, like just like I can't like do anything, let alone eat or get up and play with my kids or something. But if I go take a dab real quick, I feel better enough to go back and do normal activities. And I mean, for me, I can see how that's a different experience and something that I'm using it for a medication versus trying to get high and use it as a drug, which sometimes, yes, I do that. Like, you know, for getting fun and having fun right now and taking naps and shit like that. That's using it for habitual and recreational use, but there's definitely medical use as well.
Medications are drugs, dude.
That is true, but I mean, you know what I mean? Using it in a medication way instead of a drug way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hate using drugs in medication ways. We use them in fun ways. This article from Pike, Colorado, this is kind of what I was foreshadowing earlier. And there's 4 people. They were smoking weed with a kid, and they filmed it, put it up on Snapchat, like sent it to somebody on Snapchat, and I guess somebody saw it and reported them, and like now they're going to jail. So I just wanted to like let people know, like, as funny as it is to see a 3-year-old hit a joint, like, you probably shouldn't film that, and like you probably shouldn't do that to begin with. Obviously, I mean,
dude, this bitch
that goes without saying, but
dude, did you see this?
Yeah,
she's smiling.
You will get charged, and you will probably do jail time if people see you do that, especially in Mississippi. Especially in Mississippi.
Yeah,
especially if you look like you haven't slept in a week.
So if a doctor has prescribed something, which usually it's only CBD, and only very rare cases is it actually THC, you should definitely not be giving a 3-year-old anything. Come on.
I mean, if it helps seizures and shit, but like clearly when you're filming it on Snapchat, like that kind of crosses a line, you know.
That is definitely crossing a line of.
Like, do people film themselves, like, giving their kids, like, cough medicine or something? Like, that just seems like a weird thing to put
I mean,
up on
I've seen videos of people doing, like, the CBD with seizures thing, but that's just to show like this is happening and like look
Yeah,
at it,
but
stop
that's
it,
like
stuff
helping.
that.
You're not like
That's
laughing
100%
like,
different.
haha, that
You're not,
3-year-old's hitting a
take a hit of
joint.
this joint, 3-year-old.
Yeah.
That's completely unresponsible. Oh my, irresponsible. I can't believe she's smiling in the freaking mugshots. Like,
People
what
are so
you
dope.
doing?
First, we gotta smoke this weed with this 3-year-old on our way to this gender reveal party where I'm running pyrotechnics.
Oh, and now we're gonna be kicked off. It was nice running with you guys. It's been a good how many shows?
Can't kick us off. Shit.
That's true.
Belmont, Massachusetts. Can you be influenced by weed even when you're not, quote unquote, under the influence? A study by McLean Hospital finds recreational marijuana use inhibits driving ability even when users are not visibly intoxicated by the drug. Researchers say using marijuana regularly before age 16 shows links to worsening driving performance.
Okay. So one. What?
If you smoke weed and you're not visibly intoxicated, you can still be impaired, I guess. But if you're impaired, then you're visibly intoxicated. So, oh, that hurts my brain.
Okay, so ignoring that fact 100%, first off, technically you shouldn't be smoking before the age of 16 either because your brain's not fully developed, and they actually say you should wait until your brain's fully developed before you start smoking as recreational-wise, unless you need it for a medicational-wise. So
Yeah,
they
but
are right in the sense that you shouldn't be smoking before the age of 16. I think the age is different for each person. Like women, it's like 18, and men, it's like 21, but I think you said it best, like leaving it at the age of like a certain age of like 17 or 18 or something like it. Tobacco. If tobacco's 18, then 18 for marijuana.
oh,
I
I said 16 because that's what it was in Germany. That's the drinking age in Germany.
Right. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I think the drinking and smoking are a little bit different.
What do you think about a cell phone then? I think that triggers the same addictive response, and I feel like having a cell phone at that age does way more to turn you into like an anxious kind of individual than smoking some weed. But then you combine the two.
Now, is that the process of the phone or the social media?
Well, no, just the
that
social
phone
media.
provides?
The phone is the
wouldn't they
tool.
get that without the phone?
Would
Because
what?
then they would just be using the laptop whenever they're not out and about.
Yeah, I feel like that's different though.
Think about what we did back in the day before we had smartphones. You know.
Well,
We were
yeah,
on the
but we
computer all
weren't
the
getting
goddamn time.
we weren't getting near the overabundance of like stimulus from these things back then either. Like literally notifications like every few seconds some people do.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. I
thought, well, you
I
know, with
set up
Twitter
my
and shit-
phone in a way that like I only get notifications from things I need to because
I
I'm
feel
an
like
adult.
people are starting to realize it. Like, I feel like everything needs to start being a problem before people are like, oh, this is actually slightly an issue. Maybe we should chill the fuck out. But at the same time, people aren't really chilling out because they don't realize it's a problem.
well, because the
That doesn't
planet's
make any
on
sense.
fire
I just
and
sounded
there's
like this goddamn article.
the people aren't chilling out because the planet's on fire and there's a virus, I guess, still out there, and
I thought we found the cure. It was violent protest.
and weed.
And
Weed cures the virus. This is the first study to examine the effects of cannabis on the driving performance of heavy users who aren't technically high. The research team led by Dr. Mary Catherine Dahlgren and Dr. Stacy Gruber of McLean's Cognitive and Clinical Neuroimaging Core in the Marijuana Investigations for Neuroscientific Discovery, or MIND, program is affiliated with Harvard. Researchers create a customized driving simulator to assess how marijuana users drive. All participants did not use cannabis in the 12 hours leading up to the test. The results show chronic cannabis users perform worse than non-users. That's bullshit. I bet your game just sucked. And like put me in a real car and let's smoke a joint and I'll take you for a drive and show
I
you.
love how you started that with like a full on like butt fucking each other in the words there. Like,
Yeah,
read
but-
the beginning of that again. What was that? It was like,
But it's the game. I bet you. I bet they just have a shitty fucking driving simulator
They
that
just have a
nobody
shitty
can
game.
play. That's yeah. I mean, you've gone to like arcades, right, and seen like dope fucking driving setups, and then got into them, and they're like nothing how a car handles. Like,
Dude,
come on,
I'm calling bullshit.
Stoned or
because
not.
the stoners are the ones that sit there all day and fucking practice.
right?
Those are
But that's
the
what I'm
ones that are
saying.
the
Like
best
your
at those
your
type of
game,
games.
your game
I'm
must have
just saying.
sucked that bad to where everybody like performed worse.
Oh my god.
It says
Oh, what do
it
we got left?
didn't surprise us that performance differences on the driving simulator were primarily seen in the early onset group. Research has consistently shown that early substance use, including the use of cannabis, is associated with poor cognitive performance. Maybe kids are just getting dumber. Did you ever think of that? Maybe it's not the weed. Maybe kids are just not as smart.
Like I wonder. I want to see the
Maybe kids these days just suck at driving.
like maybe the group that they just pulled happened to suck at driving, whether they were high or not, and the other group happened to be better at driving, and
Right.
they didn't get tested when they weren't high. Don't you have to get both groups high to figure it out?
Well, I would hope so.
Because then if the ones truly don't smoke, they're gonna be like fucking in Germany, like just way off the course, because they're gonna be fucking in La La Land, sitting there out of their fucking mind because they just took a goddamn dab.
Yeah, it probably depends how they gave them the drug. Was it a dab? Are they
regardless-
just handing out like hot fucking
Even
dabs?
so, like somebody who's never smoked before or something like that,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
take even a full hit or something like that, they're
Yeah.
gonna be on fucking cloud 10, bro.
Yeah.
And then put them behind the wheel. They should be terrible.
That
like,
would make-
insanely worse.
That would make such a good reality show. Should do that. Find the world's next top driver by getting everybody stoned and putting them in this shitty driving simulation.
Dude, did you guys ever see Canada's Worst Driver? That is the best fucking show ever. I've seen that on YouTube a little bit ago. It is the most amazing thing on this planet.
That's an actual thing?
It's an actual show. There's like 14. I think Ask Too Sweet about this. He's Canadian. He knows everything Canadian.
Our token Canadian. Can you verify these words he's
not in
saying?
here right now, but apparently it's a big show in there,
Huh. Like
Yeah.
Top Gear?
like Top Gear.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird,
crazy.
isn't it?
And to wrap things up, if you're in Colorado, you might be seeing some moldy weed hitting the store shelves because COVID-19 has kind of forced their watchdog, the Department of Public Health and Environment that goes around and checks for these things, to not check for things right now because of virus. So
So it's been sitting around. Great.
yeah. So they're probably going to. I assume that you won't see that on the shelves. There's just going to be like a backlog, right? Because you have all this. You're going to have to go get new samples and then
Yeah, they won't put
reanalyze
both on the
everything.
shelf.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then all that goes to the black market.
If you're
Yeah,
lucky.
great.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
If you're not, they just burn it all and waste it. If you're lucky, you can salvage some of that shit.
Yeah, but would you
Should
would you
wake
really
up
want
every
to?
morning and thank the great black market for allowing you to exist. Thank it. Thank you, Poppy
insert
Black
disclaimer
Market.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing these mids to exist.
Can we check with our lawyers if that's? Can we legally?
Do we
thank
have
black
lawyers?
market?
Do we have lawyers?
Can we get
should,
one?
We should probably get one.
Yeah, we probably should. Can we afford one?
Vinter, can you go to school and be a lawyer now?
Vinter,
You're young
yeah,
enough,
you're-
right?
You're now the Discord lawyer.
You have to be a
It's been
lawyer,
voted.
just like
The
your
elders
pappy
have voted.
wants. All right. Thanks for joining us, hotbox.earth, hotboxpodcast.com. Definitely check us out here in the Discord on the Dabs subreddit. And
Don't forget
check
to
out
check
the...
out movements as well.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
Absolutely. It's been fun hanging out with you and reacting a little bit, hearing about your first dab experience. Twitch.tv/Muffins.
With double zeros.
Double zeros, that's right.
Do I have to
Yeah,
say
that's
that? Is that a boomer thing to have to say?
I think so. I think it is. And I think it's a boomer thing just to say, is that a boomer thing?
Fuck.
So I think you're like
Two-
double boomer there.
Fuck. Do they cancel each other out?
No, they
Fuck.
just compound.
Fuck. All right.
I'm pretty sure they compound.
Well, if I haven't died of old age, we'll talk to you next weekend.
If so, we'll be looking for a replacement. So hit me up in the DMs
In
if you're
those
funny enough,
DMs.
and you can read the show doc and follow along, so I can follow along with you and not have to do shit. Let me know.
As long as you can read better than Grand, you'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you can read better than me, which is not very good. So I mean,
Low bars.
hit me up in the DMs. Low bar, yeah, low bar.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming, Muffins. We will see you guys later. Don't forget about our giveaway going for $30 Steam gift card or a gift card to anywhere else. You can get entries by going and seeing Muffins almost every night he streams.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Peace
No
out,
problem.
y'all.
See you guys later.